The stars shone bright in the dark sky far from Earth, where the galaxy was full of life and power. 5 alien commanders came together in a great space station. Each one had a battleship that was known across many star systems. They were proud and strong, and they wanted to show that their ships were the best in the galaxy. Lyra was the first to speak. She came from a planet with blue skies and tall mountains. Her battleship was large and covered with many glowing weapons. "My ship is the fastest in this part of space," she said, her voice calm but full of pride. "No one can catch it, and it can shoot down any enemy from far away." Jorak was a tall alien with green skin and sharp eyes. His homeworld was a hot desert planet. "Speed means little when you have power," he said with a smile. "My battleship is built like a fortress. It has the strongest shields and can fire heavy blasts that break through any armor." Selen, a smaller alien with silver skin, shook her head. "You both forget about technology," she said. "My ship uses smart weapons that follow targets and never miss. It can also hide itself from sensors so enemies can't see it coming." Garrick laughed, a deep and rough sound. He was from a planet covered in forests and rivers. "Smart weapons are fine, but when you have the largest fleet, you win," he said. "My battleship commands many smaller ships that can surround and destroy the enemy." Tovak, the last commander, looked at all of them. He was quiet but strong, with dark armor that covered his body. "All of your ships are good," he said slowly, "but the true power is in the crew. My battleship has the best soldiers and pilots. No matter the enemy, we will win." The 5 commanders smiled and nodded. They were ready to boast about their ships and their victories. They told stories of great battles, of star systems won and lost. Each one believed that their ship was the strongest and smartest. While they spoke, a warning came to the space station. There was talk of a new human warship. Humans were known in some parts of the galaxy, but mostly as weak and simple creatures. Many aliens thought humans could not build strong ships. Jorak laughed loudly. "Humans? Their ships are old and slow. They cannot fight in the stars," he said. The others agreed. "Let them try." "They will fail," said Lyra, but Selen looked curious. "I have heard they use strange technology." "Maybe we should watch," she said. The others ignored her and went back to their stories. Far away on Earth, humans were working hard. They knew the galaxy was dangerous and that they needed strong ships. Commander Jack Harris stood on the deck of the Valiant Hawk. It was a new ship, built with the best human technology. Jack was not tall or strong like the aliens, but he had a sharp mind and a brave heart. He believed in his crew and their mission. The Valiant Hawk was fast and had weapons that no one had seen before. The ship could hide from enemy sensors and shoot energy blasts that were quiet but deadly. Jack watched the stars and thought about the aliens. They were bigger and stronger, but humans had something else, hope and creativity. One day, the Valiant Hawk picked up a signal. It was an alien distress call. Someone was in trouble far away. Jack knew this was their chance to prove themselves. He gave orders to prepare the ship for battle. Back at the alien space station, the 5 commanders learned about the human ship. They saw pictures and data but still believed humans were weak. They decided to send their battleships to meet the Valiant Hawk. The space between the stars was silent and cold, but tension filled the air. The humans moved carefully, ready for anything. The aliens were proud and sure of victory. Jack told his crew, "We are not just fighting for Earth. We are fighting for every human who dreams of the stars. Let's show them what we can do." As the Valiant Hawk moved closer, the alien battleships appeared one by one. Their weapons glowed and shields sparkled. The 5 commanders stood on their bridges, watching the small human ship. Lyra smiled and said, "Let's finish this quickly." Jorak nodded. "We will teach them a lesson." Selen, Garrick, and Tovak all prepared for battle, their faces serious. The moment was near. The galaxy was watching, and history would be made. The small human ship faced 5 of the strongest battleships in the galaxy. No one knew what would happen next, but all were ready for a great fight. Far from Earth, inside the warship Valiant Hawk, Commander Jack Harris stood quietly on the bridge, watching the stars pass by. The ship moved smoothly through space, its sleek shape cutting through the darkness. Jack's crew was busy preparing the ship for the coming battle, but there was no fear in their eyes, only focus and determination. Jack thought about the stories he had heard from other humans and aliens. Many said humans were weak and slow, not built for war in space, but he knew better. Humans had worked hard for many years to build the Valiant Hawk, a ship full of new ideas and smart technology. It was different from any other warship in the warship in the galaxy, small but deadly, fast but strong. The ship's engines glowed softly, powered by energy cores that were clean and powerful. Its weapons were hidden behind smooth panels, ready to strike quickly and without warning. Jack smiled as he looked at the control screen. The ship's eye was learning every day, watching enemies and helping the crew make the best decisions. "Captain," said Lieutenant Mia, the ship's lead pilot, "we are approaching the coordinates of the distress signal," she said, her voice calm. Jack nodded. "Prepare for battle," he said. "Everyone, be ready for anything." The crew moved quickly, their training clear and sharp. Some checked the weapons, others monitored the ship's shields. Jack knew the aliens were coming. 5 of the strongest battleships in the galaxy were moving toward them. They expected an easy fight, but Jack had a plan to surprise them. The Valiant Hawk used stealth technology that made it hard to see on enemy sensors. It could hide in the shadows of space and strike without warning. Jack had studied the aliens' tactics and knew they liked to attack with large, direct forces, but humans fought differently, with speed, surprise, and teamwork. As the ship moved closer to the alien fleet, Jack's heart beat faster. He was not afraid, but he felt the weight of the moment. "This is our chance," he thought, "to show the galaxy what humans can do." On the bridges of the 5 alien battleships, the commanders prepared for the fight. Lyra watched the small ship with a smile. "It is too small to matter," she said. Jorak tightened his grip on the control panel. "We will crush it quickly," he said. Selen studied the ship's movements, noticing how it tried to stay hidden. Garrick and Tovak spoke quietly about their plans, but all 5 commanders believed. They held the power. They did not understand how humans thought or fought. Suddenly, the Valiant Hawk moved fast, slipping between the gaps of the alien ships. Its energy weapons fired silently, striking the shields of Garrick's ship. The aliens were surprised, their weapons reacting slowly. Jack's crew worked perfectly, changing targets and moving like one body. The battle had begun, and it was not what the aliens expected. The humans used their speed to avoid the heavy fire. They used the ship's AI to predict enemy moves. They changed their weapons to match the situation, sometimes shooting lasers, other times launching drones. Garrick's ship tried to chase the Valiant Hawk, but it was too fast. The humans hit the alien ship's engines, slowing it down. Jorak's ship fired a heavy blast, but the Valiant Hawk dodged easily. The aliens started to feel fear, a new feeling in the cold space battle. Jack smiled as he gave orders. "Keep moving, keep striking," he said. "We fight smart, not just strong." The alien commanders saw their ships taking damage, shields failing and weapons breaking. Lyra was shocked when her ship lost power for a moment. Selen's ship was attacked from behind by drones that moved like small shadows. Tovak's crew fought hard, but the humans were quick and unpredictable. The Valiant Hawk's crew used the ship's repair systems to fix damage during the battle. They worked fast and kept the ship alive. Jack knew this was their advantage. While the aliens focused on attack, humans took care of their ship and adapted quickly. The fight continued, but it became clear the humans were not just a small target. They were a force to be respected. The 5 alien commanders looked at each other with new fear. Who are these humans? Garrick asked. "They fight like nothing we have seen," said Lyra. Jack knew the battle was far from over, but the first strikes were a success. Humans had shown that they were not weak or slow. They were a new power in the galaxy, ready to fight. For their place, the stars around the battlefield sparkled as the warships clashed. The valiant Hawk moved like a ghost, striking and hiding. Jack's crew worked as one, proud and strong, and the galaxy watched, surprised by the fight of 5 alien battleships against one human warship. The battle in space grew louder as the 5 alien battleships faced the small human warship. The valiant Hawk, the stars around them twinkled quietly, but the warships glowed with power and weapons ready to fire. Jack Harris stood on the bridge of the valiant Hawk, calm and focused. He watched the enemy ships carefully, knowing each move could change the fight. The alien commanders were confident, but did not expect the human ship to be so clever and fast. The valiant Hawk moved like a shadow, slipping through laser beams and energy blasts. Jack's crew worked quickly, controlling the ship with skill and teamwork. They used every tool they had, from energy weapons that could pierce shields to small drone fighters that swarmed around the enemy. The drones were fast and smart, able to attack weak points in the alien ships, confusing their crews. Jorak's battleship fired a heavy blast, aiming to hit the valiant Hawk directly, but the human ship dodged smoothly, moving to the side and firing back with a precise energy pulse. The blast hit Jorak's shield, causing it to flicker and weaken. Jorak growled in frustration but ordered his crew to keep fighting. Jarek's fleet moved forward to protect Jorak. His smaller ship surrounded the human warship, hoping to trap it, but Jack smiled, knowing this was exactly what the aliens wanted. The valiant Hawk used its speed and small size to slip through the gaps between the enemy ships. Suddenly, the ship fired a special weapon, a beam of blue energy that struck the engines of one of Garrick's escort ships. The smaller ship exploded in a bright flash, sending debris into space. Garrick's crew shouted in alarm, "This human ship is dangerous." One of them said. Garrick nodded but stayed calm. "We fight with strength and numbers. We will win," he said. Meanwhile, Lyra's flagship tried to flank the valiant Hawk, moving quickly to get behind it. Lyra believed speed was the key to victory, but the human ship was ready. Mia, the lead pilot, saw Lyra's move and sent drones to block her path. The drones flew like shadows, attacking the alien ship's sensors and weapon systems. Lyra's ship shook as it took damage but did not stop. Selen watched the battle with sharp eyes. Her ship was built for stealth and technology, but even she was surprised by the humans' tactics. "They fight smart," she said quietly. Her ship sent out a wave of energy to confuse the valiant Hawk's sensors. For a moment, the human ship's controls flickered, but Jack quickly adapted. "We have to stay calm," he told his crew. "Trust the AI and keep moving." Tovak's ship was the last to join the fight. He watched as the valiant Hawk avoided most attacks and struck back hard. His soldiers prepared for boarding, hoping to capture the human ship. But Jack was ready for this too. The ship's defense systems opened fire with bright beams, stopping the boarding party before they could get close. The battle was intense, but the humans used their creativity to stay alive. Jack knew that strength alone would not win this fight. They had to be faster, smarter, and work together as one. On the alien bridges, tension grew. The commanders saw their ships taking damage, and their crews were tired. Jorak's voice was sharp as he ordered repairs. "We cannot lose to one human ship," he said. But even he was not sure how to stop the valiant Hawk. Garrick and Lyra spoke quickly, trying to change their plans. Selen studied the humans' moves, trying to find a weakness. Tovak stayed silent, watching carefully, ready to act. Jack felt the pressure but stayed calm. He gave orders with clear voice. "Prepare the energy pulse. Target Jorak's ship again." The valiant Hawk's weapons glowed as it charged a powerful blast. When the moment came, the pulse hit Jorak's shield with full force. The shield broke, and the ship's systems went dark for a moment. Jorak shouted orders to save his ship, but the damage was done. The other alien commanders were shocked. They had never seen a human ship fight like this. Jack knew this was the moment to push harder. "We can win this," he said. "Stay together. Fight smart." The Valiant Hawk moved fast, attacking one ship after another. The drones kept confusing the aliens. The crew repaired the ship quickly, fixing damage and keeping it ready for the next attack. The battle in the stars was far from over, but the humans had shown they could stand against 5 of the galaxy's strongest battleships. The aliens began to realize that humans were not weak or simple. They were strong in ways no one had expected. Jack looked at the stars ahead, ready for the next move. The fight was just beginning, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The battle continued in the cold darkness of space. The 5 alien battleships moved with power and anger, but the human warship Valiant Hawk was still alive and fighting back. The alien commanders watched in shock as their mighty ships took heavy damage. Lyra's ship was the first to lose its shields. A sudden blast from the Valiant Hawk struck the core of her defense. Her crew scrambled to repair the damage, but the shield was weak. Lyra stood on the bridge, her face tight with worry. She had never seen such power from a small ship before. Jorak's ship was also damaged badly. His weapons were failing, and his engines were slow. Jorak's pride hurt more than the damage to his ship. He shouted orders to his crew to fight harder, but the Valiant Hawk was always one step ahead. Selen's ship tried to hide in the shadows of space. She hoped to use stealth to turn the fight, but the humans had sensors that could detect even the smallest movement. Her ship was attacked suddenly by drones, which damaged her communication systems. Selen's crew was confused and angry. Garrick's fleet was breaking apart. The small escort ships could not keep up with the fast moves of the Valiant Hawk. One by one, his ships were hit and forced to retreat. Garrick watched helplessly as his fleet fell apart. Tovak was the last to hold strong. His ship was built for battle with the best soldiers and weapons. He moved closer to the Valiant Hawk, ready to crush it. But Jack Harris was ready too. The Valiant Hawk fired a special weapon that sent a wave of energy toward Tovak's ship. The wave made the alien ship's systems go crazy. Tovak's ship shook and lights flickered. Tovak yelled at his crew to hold their positions. He was angry but respected the humans' power. Jack watched the battle carefully. He knew this was the moment to press forward. "Keep attacking," he said. "Use every weapon we have." The crew of the Valiant Hawk worked quickly. They repaired damage as fast as it came. Their teamwork was perfect. The ship moved like a living thing, fast and strong. The aliens began to lose hope. Their pride was shaken by a smaller, unknown human ship. Lyra spoke to the other commanders. "We must think again," she said. "We underestimated them." Jorak nodded. "Our ships are strong, but the humans fight in ways we do not understand." Selen agreed. "They are not just strong, they are smart." Garrick and Tovak looked at each other. "We need a new plan," Garrick said. "But what can stop a ship like the Valiant Hawk?" Jack smiled quietly. He knew their strength was not just in their weapons. It was in their ability to change and adapt. "We fight not just with power, but with our minds," he told his crew. "That is what makes us strong." The Valiant Hawk moved fast again. It used tricks and traps to confuse the alien fleet. At one moment, it pretended to retreat. The aliens thought they won and moved forward quickly, but it was a trap. The human ship turned suddenly and fired a burst of energy. It hit the engines of 2 alien ships. The ships lost speed and were easy targets. The aliens were shocked and angry. Tovak's ship was caught in the trap. His weapons were damaged, and his shields were weak. He called for help, but the other commanders were busy defending their own ships. The Valiant Hawk moved closer, ready to finish the fight. Jack gave his crew one last order. "Stay sharp, stay focused." The ship moved forward, its weapons glowing bright, ready for the final strike. The aliens knew the battle was changing. They had to act fast or lose everything. But the humans had already shown they were not to be ignored. The fight was far from over, but the Valiant Hawk was winning. The stars around them were quiet again, but the warships glowed with power. The battle in the galaxy had changed forever. Humans were no longer weak. They were a new force to be feared and respected. The battle was changing fast in the cold space around the ships. The 5 alien commanders looked at each other with worry and fear. Their great battleships were damaged, and their crews were tired, but the humans were still strong and ready to fight. Jack Harris stood on the bridge of the Valiant Hawk. He felt proud of his crew and their hard work, creativity, and quick thinking. He told himself, that is what makes us better than them. The Valiant Hawk was not just a strong ship, it was a smart ship. Jack had built it with new ideas and technology. Its weapons could change during the battle, sometimes lasers, sometimes energy pulses, sometimes small drones that flew fast and attacked the enemy. The ship's AI helped the crew learn about the enemy during the fight. It studied the alien ship's movements and attacks. It helped the crew change their strategy quickly. This surprised the alien commanders. They had never seen a ship that could think and change so fast. Lyra watched the battle closely. She could not believe what she was seeing. Her ship's weapons were not working as well as before. Her shields were weak. How can a small ship do this? She asked. Jorok was angry. He had never lost a battle before. His ship was strong, but it was no match for the Valiant Hawk's smart attacks. He ordered his crew to repair the ship fast, but the damage was too much. Selen tried to find a way to hide her ship and escape, but the humans' drones found her every time. Her communication systems were damaged. She could not call for help. Garrick's fleet was falling apart. Many of his smaller ships were destroyed. His pride hurt more than the losses. We must find a way to win, he said. Tovak's ship was still fighting hard. His crew was brave and strong, but even he could see the humans were different. They fight with their minds, he said quietly. We must change our way too. Jack knew this was the time to use a special plan. He ordered his crew to set a trap. The Valiant Hawk pretended to retreat. The aliens thought the humans were scared and moved forward fast, but the human ship turned suddenly. Its weapons fired with full power. The energy blasts hit the engines of 2 alien ships. The ships slowed down and became easy targets. The aliens shouted in anger and surprise. They realized the humans were clever and brave. Jack smiled and told his crew, "This is how we win, with brains and courage." The Valiant Hawk moved faster and struck again. It used its special weapons and drones to confuse the enemy. The ship repaired itself quickly. The crew worked like a well-trained team. The alien commanders gathered to talk. They knew they had to change their plans. Lyra said, "We must work together or we will lose." Jorok agreed. "We need new tactics." Selen, Garrick, and Tovak nodded, ready to listen. Jack watched the aliens prepare for a new attack. He knew the fight was not over, but he was proud to show what humans could do. The Valiant Hawk was not just a ship, it was a symbol of human strength, creativity, and hope. The stars around the battlefield shone brightly. The warships glowed with light and power. The battle was fierce, but the humans had changed the game. They were no longer the weak ones. They were a new force in the galaxy, ready to face any challenge. The battle in space grew even more tense as the humans and aliens faced each other. Again, the Valiant Hawk moved with speed and skill. Its crew was calm and ready. The 5 alien commanders watched carefully. They knew the humans were clever and strong, but they had many ships and weapons. They wanted to win the fight. Tovak's ship moved forward to protect his allies. He knew the human ship was dangerous. His soldiers were ready for battle, but Jack Harris had a plan. The Valiant Hawk used a trick. It pretended to fly away from the aliens. The 5 alien battleships moved quickly to follow. They thought the humans were scared, but it was a trap. The human ship suddenly turned and fired strong energy blasts. 2 of the alien ships were hit hard. Their engines slowed, and their weapons stopped working. The aliens were shocked. They did not expect the humans to be so smart. Jack smiled and told his crew, "Keep fighting smart, not just strong." Valiant Hawk moved fast. It used small drone fighters that flew around the enemy ships. The drones attacked weak spots. They confused the alien crews and made them lose focus. Garrick's fleet was losing many ships. He tried to protect his soldiers, but the drones were too fast. Many smaller ships exploded or were forced to retreat. Lyra's ship moved quickly to help Garrick. She fired powerful energy beams. But the Valiant Hawk was ready. It dodged the attacks and fired back. Selen's ship tried to hide and wait for a chance to strike. But the human sensors found her every time. Her communication was damaged. She could not warn her friends. Jorak's ship was damaged badly. His weapons were weak. He ordered his crew to repair fast. But the Valiant Hawk did not give him time. The humans used their speed and smart weapons to control the fight. Jack told his crew, "We fight as one team. We win as one team." The alien commanders grew worried. They had never fought an enemy like this. They talked quickly. "We must change our plan," said Lyra. "But how?" asked Jorak. Tovak was quiet but watched carefully. "We must work together better, or we will lose," he said. The others agreed. Jack knew the aliens were afraid, but he also knew they would fight hard until the end. He gave his crew one order: "Stay ready, stay strong." The battle was far from over, but the Valiant Hawk had shown it was a powerful ship. The humans were not just fighters. They were thinkers and survivors. The stars shone brightly. The warships glowed with power. The fight in the galaxy had changed. Humans were no longer the weak ones. They were a new force, ready to face any challenge and win. The space battle reached its highest point. The 5 alien commanders gathered on their ship's bridges. They knew the humans were strong and smart, but they were still proud and did not want to lose. Jack Harris stood firm on the Valiant Hawk. His crew was tired but ready to fight until the end. The ship moved fast and smooth. Its weapons were ready for the final attack. The aliens decided to join their forces. They wanted to destroy the Valiant Hawk once and for all. Lyra's ship, Jorak's battleship, Selen's stealth ship, Garrick's fleet, and Tovak's warship moved close together. Their weapons glowed brightly, ready to fire. Jack watched the enemy fleet. He knew this was the biggest challenge. He told his crew, "We fight with courage and smart plans. We can win if we work as one." The Valiant Hawk flew into the middle of the alien fleet, its shields strong and weapons powerful. The humans attacked with fast energy blasts and small drones. The drones flew like shadows, striking the enemy ship's weak points. The alien ships fired back with heavy blasts. The space shook with power and light, but the Valiant Hawk moved like a ghost, dodging every attack. Jack's crew worked as one, calm and focused. Lyra's ship was hit hard by a drone attack. Her shields broke, and her weapons stopped working. She shouted orders to repair quickly, but the damage was great. Jorak's battleship lost power in some systems. His crew fought hard to keep the ship alive. Garrick's fleet was broken. Many small ships were destroyed. Selen tried to hide but was found and attacked. Tovak was angry but still fought with all his strength. His soldiers were brave and strong, but the humans were faster and smarter. Jack saw the chance to finish the fight. He moved the Valiant Hawk closer to the alien command ships. The ship's weapons glowed with energy. The humans fired powerful blasts that hit the enemy's command centers. One by one, the alien ship started to lose control. The alien commanders shouted orders to save their ships. But it was too late. Their ships were breaking apart, and their crews were losing hope. Jack gave the final command: "Fire everything we have." The Valiant Hawk fired with full power. The energy blasts hit the alien ships hard. The ships exploded. One after another, the remaining alien ships were forced to retreat. The commanders knew they had lost the battle. They watched as the Valiant Hawk moved away, victorious. The stars around them were quiet again. The humans had won against 5 of the strongest battleships in the galaxy. The alien commanders felt shock and respect. They had never seen such power and skill from one human ship. Jack smiled as he looked at the stars. He knew this was only the beginning. Humans had shown their strength and courage. They were ready for whatever the galaxy would bring next. The battle was over, but a new chapter had begun. Humans were no longer the weak ones. They were a force to be reckoned with, strong, smart, and ready to face any challenge. The battle was over, and the stars shone quietly in the dark sky. The 5 alien commanders gathered in a small room on one of their ships. They looked at each other with new respect and a little fear. They had seen something they did not expect. The power of humans. Lyra spoke first, her voice calm but serious. We thought humans were weak, but they surprised us all. She saw. Jorok nodded. They fight with courage and smart plans. He said. Selen added. They change quickly and never give up. Garrick looked down but agreed. We must respect their strength. He said. Tovak, quiet until now, finally spoke. They are different from any enemy we have faced. Far away, on the Valiant Hawk, Jack Harris and his crew were preparing to leave the battle area. They were tired but proud. Jack looked at his crew and smiled. We showed the galaxy what humans can do, he said. But this is only the beginning. The humans sent a message to the alien commanders, they said. They did not want war. They wanted to explore and learn from others. But they were ready to defend themselves if needed. The aliens read the message carefully. They saw the honesty and courage in it. They decided to respond with respect. They invited the humans to talk and find a way to live peacefully. Jack and his crew agreed. They knew peace was important. But they also knew the galaxy was full of dangers. They had to be ready for anything. The Valiant Hawk moved slowly away from the battle site. Jack looked out at the stars. He thought about the future, about the new friends and enemies they might meet. The humans were no longer alone in the galaxy. They had proven themselves. They had earned respect. And they were ready for new adventures. The galaxy was big and full of mystery. But Jack and his crew were ready to face it all. With courage, strength, and smart thinking, they would continue to explore, to learn, and to protect their home. The story of the Valiant Hawk and its crew was only just beginning, and the stars were waiting for them.